What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It's Thursday, 4/20.
Blaze it.
Fucking smoke it if you got it. And guys, I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but something happened yesterday that I've been waiting for years.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no, I've been very.
I'm not gonna lie, John. I should have seen it coming. I didn't think you were gonna jump to it like immediately.
How are you remotely surprised, Jeff?
I don't know.
Look,
Just it.
you
Moving
guys.
forward,
Here's the thing.
April 19th is a like a national holiday in John's eyes. So
here's the deal. You guys, I could be talking about fucking anything, and you guys wouldn't know. Like, how do you know what I'm talking about? I could be talking about
John.
Like, maybe I became a father yesterday, again, and
You're already
you
a
don't
father.
fucking know it.
Like-
I said again. Again, you guys don't know.
I'm pretty sure you would tell us if that. had
Maybe I
happened.
got a bottle of fucking 20-year Pappy Van Winkle, which I've been after for years. Like,
I have no idea what that
Literally,
means.
John's talking about that new Monster
I
Hunter
have no
update
idea what that
got
means.
announced.
it's
Monster
the
Hunter, literally.
rarest whiskey on earth. Maybe I got a bottle of West V12, which is the rarest beer on earth. But no, I'm talking about the Pixel remasters on consoles, which finally happened yesterday. We're gonna get to all that. As you guys can tell, I'm very fucking excited about it. I'm extremely.
I was
excited
about to say
about
I'm very high already.
it. Good. That's fucking. I mean, I wish I was fucking high. I wish I could get high. But I would get in trouble at work if I did that. So, federally legalize it, motherfuckers. So anyway. We have two guests tonight.
True.
We had a small core podcast tonight. So tonight we have two guests. First we have Cam. Cam is a friend of the show. He's been on countless times at this point. Cam
Finally met in person.
Yeah.
Finally met in person.
Yes, finally. Cam, you are a tall motherfucker, dude.
That's what I said.
I've been told. I've been told.
Cam, you are tall. Cam, we are going to be seeing each other again very
Yes.
soon.
Yeah, 6 weeks about.
Very soon, because Summer Games Fest is coming up, and it's going to be happening the weekend that me, Derek, Britt, and Finn are going to LA for the Final Fantasy 16 launch party. And we're going to be hanging out with Cam.
yeah.
We're going to be hanging out with Reb. A lot of our friends are going to be there. It's going to be a really good fucking time.
Yeah.
Cam, I miss you already, man.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, even though I am tall, like you're tall for, you're tall too. Like, let's not.
I'm just I'm just a big motherfucker.
That's also true, but you're tall. You're what, like 6 foot, like a solid 6 foot.
I'm 6'2", so I'm like, I think.
Yeah, come on.
You got
man.
like
Yeah,
like an inch on me.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting you to be that tall. I was like, God damn. Hey, careful.
Yeah,
with those,
that's how it goes.
careful with those fries, man. Don't drop them. Don't be like me.
Oh, this is gonna be your time.
Forgot about that.
Don't be.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna watch that video later.
Good.
I watch it at least once a week. I think it's good.
And our other guest, first time on the podcast, Darren, dude. So I didn't know about Rusted Rupees until I met you at PAX, and I've been catching up. And I felt bad because apparently you followed the podcast for some time, and I didn't know you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
But
I know.
well,
Oh,
I
Darren
I'm in the
before
shadows,
this?
man.
Yeah,
I'm in the shadows, man.
I didn't. But see, he's got good tradecraft, is what that is. That's why I didn't.
Oh
know
yeah,
about him.
Darren's the homie. I'll co-sign him any day of the week.
Oh no, Darren is fucking great. I got the chance to hang out with Darren at PAX East. And
He's like, yeah.
Darren is a solid motherfucker, and I've been wanting to get you on here since I met you, and it finally happened to Darren. I would like you to tell people about Rusted Rupees if you don't mind.
All right, so Rusty Rupees, we are a Bay Area-based gaming podcast. All black podcasts out here, just same thing as you guys. Bring weekly gaming news. I'm bad at editing, so you'll get your news when I get it out to you at the end of the day. But overall, on top of our weekly podcast, we stream daily. Each of us have our own individual days where we kind of play and show our own personalities, and then we also have Tekken Tuesday, which is just, I say it's Tekken Tuesday because Tekken is happening, but it's more of like the random bullshit that will just occur in chat is really what you come for. It's just, that's the community day of, hey, just come on in, let's have a good time. And yeah. here to have a good time, do interviews. We recently, actually, our last episode, we had done an interview with Steven Machuga of Stack Up. We had him on.
Yeah, he's good people.
Steve is the guy.
He's good people.
Had met up with him several times at different events, and we're like, okay, we just need to finally do the thing. So, but yeah, we're just here to have a good time, bring some happiness to the community, talk shit amongst one another, because Lord knows we talk shit amongst one another.
Yes, we
and
do.
Get mad, and at the end of the day, it is a friendship that we are here to share.
So I want to point out, I actually I broke your co-host's heart at PAG. Well, I don't think I broke his heart, but I definitely
gave him hope. You gave him hope.
So I've got a theory that there's a Xenogears remaster coming this year. And I thought he was gonna he was physically pained. He was like, I can't. He's like, please don't even give him the slightest.
Don't give me hope.
And I was like, dude, I want to make it clear, I don't know shit. Okay, this is literally me saying it's the 25th anniversary of Xenogears, and there's some Xenogears songs in Theatrhythm, which I can't figure out why they would that's just the most random shit to include, like fucking Xenogears of all things. So I don't know, man. I think we past few years, every year we've gotten a couple of PS1 Square remasters. We haven't seen anything this year. You know, we've had Chrono Cross, we've had Legend of Mana. And it seems like they're starting to churn their PlayStation 1 games out. I don't know, man. And we all know that Final Fantasy Tactics is happening because that was in the Nvidia leak. And Jason Schreier's already been like, yeah, it's fucking happening. So, dude, I could see a Xenogears drop this summer, man. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. I'd fucking love that because that game, what a special fucking game.
I'm here for it.
It makes sense. And Square's been good recently, but it's been the 30th and the 35th Final Fantasy anniversary, and we still haven't gotten ports of 13. I don't know.
We just got the Pixel remaster. Let's take one victory at a time.
Oh no, that is definitely the bigger victory.
Yeah, that's the bigger victory.
No, 1 through 6 is the bigger victory, but now 13's the only one missing. That's
and it needs to happen.
Unless you play it on PC.
The 13 trilogy is like a collection. It just makes too much. It makes so much sense that I can't believe it hasn't happened yet. Especially since I feel like if they were to, especially 13, like the original game, if they were to re-release it right now, I feel like history would be so much kinder to 13 if people got a chance to go back and replay it, re-experience it.
Dude, 13 was so good.
It's
I don't know.
Great.
I feel like a lot of the criticisms that JRPGs that we modern JRPGs that we idolize have had the same you could give the same criticism to them as 13, but no one does, and I'm just
right.
You know,
aside from Kingdom Hearts, what other PS3 era Square game has been remastered, has been ported up?
Oh, fucking well, I mean other than Kingdom Hearts, shit.
Yeah.
I mean we got the remake of
Nier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a remake of Nier.
The Replicant,
Replicant,
right?
Yeah, the Replicant. And that was from the Japanese side of things, because I'm thinking, there's not good reason for them not to have done 13 by now. And then I'm thinking about, everything's PS2 era that we've gotten.
Yeah,
I would say normally leave it. They would just be fine with leaving it to die. But the fact they've made the effort, we got the 12 remaster, and 10 is backwards compatible with the PS4. Now that it's kind of like how we knew we were getting Resident Evil 4 remake. The fact that every mainline single player Final Fantasy is playable on a PlayStation 5 now, except for 13, just makes you think they will just see it through, just to say that you can play all of them.
Masses, honestly.
Yeah.
So I will. So yeah. I do want to address something that our friend Josh said in chat, and that is that for as good as 13 is, it doesn't do a great job of explaining some of its terms and systems right out the gate. It just doesn't.
For sure.
And
I thought you were going to talk about his knock knock joke. That was
no. I'm not giving that any credence. I'm not giving that any public airtime. But no, definitely 13 has one of those things where I remember the first time I played 13, I was in fucking Afghanistan, and I was in my room playing on my TV, and it's hey, I'm out of l'Cie, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is a l'Cie? And there's a chocobo coming out of this guy's hair, and I don't know what's going on. I love the game. It's a top 5 Final Fantasy game. I'll just be straight up.
Facts.
But I feel like a re-release could kind of I don't know, smooth out some of those smooth out some of those rough edges. I'd also like to see a port of Vagrant Story, but if we keep going down this fucking port rabbit hole, I'm not going to stop. Especially since we just got some pretty
Dragon Quest
amazing
4
ports.
through 6.
Where the fuck is it, Cam?
Where
is it? Where?
I don't want to pay $700 for DS copies. I just don't. I don't want to do that.
I'll send you mine. You can play them.
Complete in box?
They're not in box.
See, that's
But yeah, like what where? Yeah, the Dragon Quest. Where the fuck is Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake? I feel like that was announced like 2 years ago.
It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's still really far out.
It might be. It might be.
Because also, like, you're not gonna want to release both of those, like that and 12, around the same time. So, I think one of them. I honestly think 12 might come before the Dragon Quest 3. I could be wrong,
it wouldn't surprise me. I think 12 will launch this year.
Really? You think it's coming out this year?
Late this year, like November, December timeframe. Yep.
With only a logo.
Yep. I do.
I would be shocked.
Has Square ever done that? I'm like, I don't know.
But we're gonna find out. And of course, like it took me way too long to say hi to Jeff and Justin. But my lads, what's going on?
Not much.
Well, Justin, brief and succinct and to the point as always. Very matter of fact. Jeff, what about you?
Not much.
Yeah. Very Jeff and Justin.
Sad to fuck with you.
Listen, when it comes to
look,
video games,
if you wait this long to talk to me, you're not gonna get anything back.
When it comes to video games, Jeff and Justin are all fucking business. It's a serious fucking discussion for them.
That's me.
He's been
serious video gamer.
He is. I mean, yeah, Jeff. That's how you refer to yourself in all our conversations. You're always talking about how seriously you take your gaming and like how interested in the ins and outs of the industry you are, and about how
100%.
You just I admire. That's what I admire the most about you, Jeff, is that focus, that dedication.
I would never cheat myself or the game. It's too sacred.
I know you,
John.
I know you wouldn't. Justin might, but you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into what we've been playing. Should I go first? Or you know what? I'm going to be talking for a bit.
I think you should go last.
I am going to go last. Jeff, what have you been talking about? Or what have you been playing this week?
That's a good, it'll be stuff nobody cares about. I'm basically just going to be bitching again.
Whoa, hold on. I care.
What? Okay. So I've been playing more MLB The Show, which I don't really have anything to add except that now that I've got I only play Road to the Show in these games, so I create my custom player. And now that I've played a few seasons and all my stats are really high. I will say I think there's a flaw. The game I think is using some algorithm to determine intentional walks, and I think my stats have reached a threshold where it's 50% of my at bats, the other team just intentionally walks me, which is super annoying because I don't actually get to hit the ball anymore. And I'm playing a baseball game. So that's San Diego studio. Please patch that or fix that. But yeah, the main new one, I guess, is I grabbed Lego Skywalker Saga on sale for $40, which is a decent deal. And I'm all over the place with it. I realize that everyone thinks all the Lego games are the same, and they are correct to an extent, but as a crazy person, there are a lot of differences. They're all over the place in terms of quality. This one doesn't seem to be one of the better ones, which is disappointing. I felt like it had some buzz and it got pretty good reviews.
Well, you've played almost all of these, right, Jeff?
No, because there's so many I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
You've played quite a few though.
I played quite a few. Yeah, just in recent memory, I played Lego Jurassic World, which I really liked. Lego Force Awakens was pretty good. Lego Batman 1 or 2 I was not into. It was just super boring. Lego Marvel Superheroes, which came out around the time of PS4 launch, was fucking amazing.
That was great.
That was great. Yeah. I played that one.
Yeah, that was one of the big mainstream ones, and it was really cool because all the characters kind of played a little bit different. You could actually fly around with Iron Man.
Yeah,
you could swing with Spidey.
So cool.
It's basic, simple mechanics, but it added some variety to it. But yeah, I'm really early with this one, so I want to wait to see. But I don't know if they just changed the design. There's no levels. All the Lego games I've played, there's like an open world hub, and then you kind of have like traditional linear levels with lots of puzzles to solve, and you go from start to the finish. And I've played like 2 or 3 hours of this one, and all I've done is wander giant empty areas and then get a cutscene. And like I'm playing through episode 1, so I've already started on like the trade ship in the Naboo orbit, and now I'm like already in Mos Eisley looking for Anakin. Like I've gone through like a third of the movie, and like I haven't really played a level yet. Like it's just super weird. It's like it's all just empty, and there's like not much to do except for there's 1,200 blue bricks to collect.
That's way too many fucking blue bricks, dude.
And they're not really even like puzzles. They're just kind of 1,200. Yeah, and like thank God I'm not a completionist. I know
that's like the Ghostwire Tokyo. Like, yeah, there's like 1,500.
Yeah,
like things to collect in this game.
Thank God I'm not a completionist. It will not bother me if I only collect 70 out of 1,200, but I know Brittany would be losing her fucking mind.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's like the vibes are good. It's a gorgeous game. Obviously, like I haven't played a Lego game on this gen. It looks very nice, and I'm enjoying just hanging out in the Star Wars areas. Like I will say, the levels are quite big. Like there's a lot of ground to explore. There's a lot of real estate, so to speak. So it's like it's cool to kind of poke around in there. But yeah, I'm hoping it picks up with like some set pieces and things like that. Like Lego Jurassic World had some like chase ones where you have to run from the T-Rex and you can actually play as the dinosaurs in that one, which was also a really fun wrinkle. And yeah, I probably just have to unlock some characters. But yeah, kind of underwhelmed or just whelmed right now with it. But we'll see.
I'm sorry to hear that, bud.
That's all right. It happens.
And Justin.
Yeah, so I've actually been playing a couple really cool things this week. One of them is a game called Dredge.
Yeah, you've been talking about this.
About that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So if you're not familiar with it, it's a fishing game. You have like your fishing vessel, and you go around, you upgrade it. You can catch different types of fish. You have to make sure you have the right lure. You have to make sure you have the right gear to catch certain types of fish, and things like that. You sell the fish, upgrade your ship, everything like that. But there is a there's a little bit of a twist with it, because it's also a touch of Lovecraftian horror in it. So like you'll catch like anomaly fish that are like weirdly mutated in strange ways, and like people will ask you to deliver some, mysterious packages that are whispering and stuff like that. And as you explore, you'll discover really weird stuff going on in the series of islands that you work on. It's really, really cool.
So, I was gonna say there's got to be like a hook here, because like a fucking fishing game just does not seem very Justin core to me.
It's really cool. Well, I mean, I like the core gameplay actually really feels it feels like a good fishing mini game. And like there actually is a decent amount of like exploration and stuff throughout the world. It kind of reminds me of Wind Waker, like, just, sailing through, because like literally, like you never control a character, you're just the boat going around.
So are there actually horror elements, Justin?
Like I mean, so it's like a touch of it. Like the game's E10 plus. It's not like
I was hoping
it's not
for
like
some
super graphic
mature
or like,
rated shit.
I want to hate it, but the horror aspect is pulling me in.
I wanted to hear about some fucking tentacle fish that you're pulling up. That.
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of that.
Yeah, but I wanted the tentacle fish to like do shit to you. That sounds really wrong when you say
I was gonna say this sounds like you've been on some website,
John, that's a different genre.
Yeah, that's one of those games that's banned from Twitch.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, you'll be out fishing during the day, and then overnight, this like mysterious fog rolls in, and you start seeing things, and you panic at night. So like sometimes it's like, oh, there's another boat coming to me, and then you'll get close and it disappears, or there's eyes that start watching you and following you, and things get weirder as you go on. Like it is an open world, and you could sail anywhere that you'd like, but there is like an actual story progression, and you probably need to go through those to get like the equipment that you need to be able to like fish in the various areas. And things get weirder and weirder as you go on. It's really cool.
Can you like accidentally like reel in Cthulhu? Are you like, man, this one's really fighting me?
Stuff.
This one's really fighting me, and all of a sudden this
there.
fucking like octopus-headed fucking.
There's some like one of the things upgrades you can get is like crab traps, and you can drop your crab traps, and they can stay out for a couple days, and they'll catch crabs, and then you'll just pull the crabs out. But I caught one that was made out of like flesh and teeth, like the trap itself. I like not the crabs, the trap itself. And it was the best crab trap that I found. It was really good at catching fish.
The tensile strength of flesh is just unparalleled, Justin.
It really
Yeah.
is. Like
teeth
are so high in calcium. They're really strong.
Yes. But the game's got a really nice art style. Like it actually is a fairly relaxing fishing game at times.
Bull fucking shit. You're talking about like reeling in tentacle horrors, Justin. That doesn't sound like a reliable. Like
I sell them.
Look at this guy. Like man,
I sell them and upgrade the lights on my ship, and then my lights are brighter.
I just reeled in Yargenball the Wizened. Like I'm so calm right now. Like
it's a really neat game. I beat the game in 2 sittings. Like it was like, oh, I'm gonna download this and check it out, and then the next thing I realized it was 8 hours later when I grabbed it on Saturday.
I mean, that's good. That's
but yeah,
fun.
it's a really cool game. I really hope people check it out. It's available on every platform. It's PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Steam, and Switch.
But is it on
it's
Netflix?
$25. No,
then it's
not
on every platform.
But it's $25. You play it on basically anything. If you're listening to this show, you probably have a way of playing Dredge. But check it out. It's a really neat little game. I had a lot of fun with it. And then I also have been playing the Horizon Burning Shores DLC for Forbidden West.
I still haven't played the original game.
I bought that game day one, and I haven't even taken it out of its box.
I haven't touched it yet.
I picked it back up a couple months ago. Need to go back again.
But yeah, DLC's been very good so far. It's it's a pretty solid expansion. I'm not too far into it. I've had long days at work, so I haven't really been able to put in as much time as I would like. But I like the new characters it introduces so far. I like the increased emphasis on flight and stuff that they've done. They also added a boat that you can like drive around now, so there's a bit more variety in.
I thought you were gonna say you could fish in the boat, and I was like, man, you're all over that fishing.
Not yet. But yeah, I mean, I've talked at length about how much I love Horizon as a series, and so far, DLC's been good. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm not quite far enough yet to give any final notes on it, but it is good so far.
I have a question as someone who as being someone that likes Horizon. I don't want to like go off on a tangent too much, but like what makes you love that series? Because for me personally, like I think it's really middling. Like I think it's a pretty game. I don't think like Aloy is an interesting protagonist really. I don't think that general like plot of the first game was that great. And I think that the controls can be really clunky at times. And while I
disagree with almost everything you just said, so that's probably why.
That's fine, but I'm just like, and I'm talking about Zero Dawn specifically. That's how I felt playing Zero Dawn.
So Justin right now is that meme where like you can't see his fist, but it's like shaking by his side right now.
No, I mean
he's Arthur right now.
But the thing is, for me, like, well, one, I really do love like the lore and the world that they built up. I really like how they merge a lot of the sci-fi and fantasy elements, and I think it's really interesting. And Forbidden West and Burning Shores also go really hard into like, the like fuck the billionaires and CEOs that are destroying the planet kind of stuff that has been really good.
Yeah.
I love the combat in Horizon. I do not think that game's combat gets enough credit, because it has some of the most interesting, fun, compelling, and varied combat in any like open world game. I think that, and
I was gonna say
Go ahead.
I might be able to offer like a middle ground perspective, because I like the game a lot too, but like I think I can see I could see why people like Cam, like you said, like I could see all those points. I think for me, like I enjoyed it as someone who doesn't care that much about combat. So like the clunky controls, like I agree, like it didn't feel smooth and light on its feet, I guess. But I think for me, the big appeal, like Justin said, was kind of it's almost like it was more than the sum of its parts.
It absolutely is.
So like just the visuals and the art design, like even if I wasn't that into the story, I like the story. I think I would still just enjoy like walking around that world because it was beautiful to look at. The soundtrack was really, really good. Yeah. But I think for me, like, because it's going to live or die on the narrative. And I think even though like, if you break the plot down and like write up a Wikipedia summary, it's maybe not that great, but I found that the way they told it was really good, especially it takes a while to get going, but there's kind of a point in the game about a third in where you start to unravel some of the mystery. Yeah. And the way it refuses to give you like that big flashback moment and show you everything that happened. You kind of piece it all together through logs and through holograms and stuff like that. And I there was like a little bit of restraint there in terms of like leaving some to your imagination in terms of how things went down.
Mystery in the storytelling and
like they didn't show you everything. They told you a lot and showed you a little bit, but I was able to fill in a lot of the gaps, and I really appreciate that and stuff. And it almost evoked like War of the Worlds type imagery in my own head, which like I really like. I really like that that story too. So.
And for me, one other thing is just like I'm a big fan of like kaiju movies and stuff like that, and like. Sure. The game really encapsulates like the whole like I mean, even though they're machines, it really captures like the whole sense of like awe of these giant creatures, and like they've added they added so many in the sequel too. Like you just are constantly discovering new stuff and like learning how to take them on, what tools work well against them, what weak points work well. Like it's just there's a constant sense of awe in what you see in that game. That's not something I really see in too many other games. It's just something that has clicked with me on several like very personal points. Really, really strong.
Sure.
Dorian in chat just said all I know about Horizon is what I learned in Death Stranding.
and here's what I'll say. Like I still vividly, and this is a positive thing. I still vividly remember running into the Stormbird the first time when you're like off the mountain, like side of the mountain and stuff like that. That felt epic. Like just by like, that fight, like, I think was the most engaging, interesting way to approach the combat and like use all your tools. But I feel like outside of the flying creatures, when it came to the combat, I knew what to do. Like there was like the kind of like
the slide underneath and shoot the weak point, and
the objective answer. You just pull out the shotgun thingy that drops the shells off, and then just deal damage. Whatever it's effective to. Like
there's a lot of variety to the combat, but once you figure out what works the best, you kind of stick with what's the best.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything.
The game gives you so many different tools and weapons that allow a lot of different variety in the way that you. Because for me, like going into it, I'm like, ooh, giant metal dinosaurs. That's Monster Hunter. Let's go. But
I will say
there's a lot of variety at the end of the day.
I will say the second game does a lot to alleviate that. It's not quite as much as the first. First off, they made some of the things that were like super simple and easy to do in the first a lot harder to do, or a lot less effective in the second.
The quality of life stuff is done immediately from the beginning of the game.
And then like you like the machines also change up more, so like as you take out different parts, it might expose a certain weak point, but it'll also change up like their attack patterns and stuff. So like if you maybe go from a different direction, it'll actually change how the machines and stuff respond to you, which is cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to go
That's
now.
all the time for what we've been playing. Unfortunately, we got to move on to Street Fighter.
No. So,
all right. John, this is your moment. You've been waiting years for this.
And I'm going to draw
This is your time.
I'm going to draw in Cam and Darren to this as well. So, guys, it finally happened yesterday. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, after 2 years, launched on consoles.
Was it 2 years ago they came out on PC? Has it been that long?
It was 2 years when they were announced, and
oh my god!
I thought it was longer at this point.
No, but it was
almost the initial drop.
It's like, almost. It's like a
last year was the year all of them were out, like because they did them game by game.
Yeah. Oh right.
Well, actually, the first ones came out in 2021. The first 3.
Yes, but it finished out
right.
in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm playing it on Switch, or I'm playing all of them on Switch. Cam,
of course.
Cam, Darren, where are you guys playing them?
Switch.
There you go.
Switch. This is like
So
come on
I'm
now.
getting it both. I'm waiting for both physical copies for PlayStation and Switch right now. But because they got me anyway, and I have a Steam Deck, I've also been playing a bit on my Steam Deck. So I'm going through Final Fantasy 3 right now, and that's a fantastic
That's what I'm
game.
playing. That's what I'm playing right now. In fact, I am. I just hit the Crystal Tower today, and I'm going to stream the end of the game tomorrow morning. So I mean, 3 is like one of those games you can blaze through.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, so I'm playing it on the OLED, in handheld, and good God, these are fucking. These are the most beautiful versions of these games. Like and I'm somebody who
like even like versus Kart on Super NT.
Yes. This is the most.
Okay.
No,
okay.
this is the most beautiful version of all of these games that I've seen. And I'm somebody who did not care for the aesthetic of the PSP remakes. I hated.
No, besides from the pixels of them, like the colors were very off.
I hated everything about those visuals. Hated it. This is like, I get some people, really enjoyed that, and more power to you, but they just weren't for me. And this is, but what's interesting is that there are a ton of quality of life changes or additions from the PC versions, and I do hope that those are patched back into the PC version. Because some of them are pretty substantial. For example, you can now, on the console version, switch back and forth between the new arranged soundtrack and the classic soundtracks. If you want,
you couldn't do that on the PC version.
You can't.
What does the PC come with? Is it new one or just the originals?
Just the new.
Just the new.
Oh,
soundtrack. Just the new soundtrack.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't know.
On the and again, like all the stuff I'm listing here is stuff the PC versions do not have. Mobile versions don't have it also. You can now boost your experience. You can boost the amount of gil you get after every battle. You can, in some game, in Final Fantasy VI, you can boost the amount of AP that you get to learn spells faster. You can turn off encounters. You can also decrease the amount of experience and gil you get in all of these games if you want, if you want to really be challenged. And they fixed.
If you're a sociopath,
which I am, because that's how I'm going to play Final Fantasy VI. But they fixed the font. And now, Cam, I want to know how you feel about the new font.
Oh, it's way better.
It's
absolutely way better. And it makes it feel like an actual, because the thing that was so jarring about the font, obviously, some people had problems reading it, and that's totally the main issue and totally valid. The thing for me is this doesn't fit the aesthetic that these games are
not at
trying
all
to make. So it's just, it felt very modern / futuristic on these NES SNES games, and it's just no, don't do that.
Well, and Cam, just for shits and giggles, I switched over to the modern Arial Narrow font on Switch handheld just to see. And dude, you cannot read it. It's borderline illegible. It's so tiny and small. But the new pixel font, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a high res version of the Game Boy Advance fonts. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It's great. It fits the aesthetic perfectly. There are some people who oh, it's still not what I wanted. It's okay, but you know what, man? This is a good font. And it's so much better. You asked them to fix the font, they fixed the font. What more do you want?
It's a point when the first change that they announced when they gave the date and everything was new font.
Was the because
number one?
Well, because and a lot of people were mad about that font. I was one of them, and people were saying, "Oh, who cares? It's a font." But it's okay, but these are games where 90% of the game is you're reading everything. It's a text-based game. You're reading all of this, and something that is it may seem like a small thing, but something that is aesthetically off-putting and doesn't fit the rest of the game, after a while it becomes ultra jarring, and it just takes you out of the experience. I'm a big believer in aesthetics, right? Like, I feel like the aesthetic of a game should be uniform all the way through. And you know, it's why I was so happy that they included the option for like a classic pixelated font in Chrono Cross. And hopefully, you know what that means. You know, they patched in a pixel font for Legend of Mana. They included it in Chrono Cross. They fixed it for the Pixel remasters. I'm hoping that Square includes this option for all their future ports of older games. Because
I feel like they got that. I feel like they got that criticism loud and clear.
Like they've got I think going forward, I'm not so much worried about that anymore. But
like,
go ahead. No, Cam, please.
No, it's just like the font thing was such a like they probably thought was such a small issue, or like a small thing to be upset about. But then after how many people brought it up, they actually had to mention it in a trailer.
Yeah,
like that's when you know that they know that they fucked up.
And Cam, it's not like they had all these quality of life features that legitimately made these better than the PC versions, and the first thing they said was, "Hey guys, new pixel font. Everybody fucking calm down and stop emailing and calling us." Like, you know, but I got to tell you, or I not tell you, but I got to ask, like, do you guys think they'll patch this stuff into the PC versions?
Probably.
I think so.
Think so?
There's too many extra features that they included in this console version to not patch in.
They'll drag their feet just long enough that some of those PC owners will double dip on the console.
Yeah, and
kind of like what happened with Dragon Quest XI with the orchestral, like the S edition, or something similar to that. But I mean, like, the Chrono Trigger on Steam launched in a really bad shape, and they did patch it and fix it, and it's actually a very good. Aside from, I think it still has the modern font, but like aside from that, it's a very considered, I think, one of the best versions of Chrono Trigger.
No, they even fixed the font. They fixed the font. And actually, Actually, the same guy who fixed the Chrono Trigger font is the same guy who fixed the Pixel Remaster font for Square.
Well, there you go.
By the way, why isn't that Chrono Trigger re-release on consoles?
Well, that's why I thought that's why I kept saying the Pixel remasters would never come. I was like, they haven't even fucking ported this 5-year-old Chrono Trigger port. They're not.
And the fucking weird thing is that, like, Chrono Cross got a port before Chrono Trigger did. Like, Chrono Trigger leads into Chrono Cross.
It's so interesting, the choices on where they want to move and port their games at. I don't understand the correlation between any of it. Like,
and among everywhere they move it, none of it involves Xbox for some reason.
Well, I mean, I don't
Steam
think,
and mobile.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though, like the fact that, you know, 16 and the Pixel remasters, you know, like these, I mean, most Square games aren't coming to Xbox, and like, it's unfortunate, but I also get it. You know, like, these games just traditionally do not sell well on Xbox systems. Especially when you're looking at like a Japanese, like the Japanese audience completely rejected the Xbox, just completely rejected it. Square is a Japanese company, and they know that a ton of their bread and butter is going to be in Japan. And I mean, I think like the last, like Final Fantasy 15 released on Xbox, and I think the split between that and PlayStation was like 80-20. I mean, why would they even?
It was a
huge gulf, and
it wasn't even close.
It might have been greater than that, actually. But
I mean, I agree. I'm gonna, like, I've been like kind of poking fun at this all day in the Discord anyway. Like, so like we were talking about it in our own Discord server, and a lot of people kind of concurred that Square would rather wait to see if Microsoft will just give them some Game Pass money, and take that guaranteed buck instead of, you know, hoping that they sell, I don't know, 500,000 copies. But I think for me, like, it's like a series by series basis. I could see why they might not want to put Nier on it, but like Nier fucking did release on Xbox, right? Like Automata, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
Field Chronicle.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, and I mean, Final Fantasy.
Octopath 1 is on Xbox,
but that was on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
They got Game Pass money for that.
But that never got a PlayStation port, but Octopath Traveler 2 launched date and date with the Switch version on PlayStation and not Xbox. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. Final Fantasy is, like, I know you talk about Japan doesn't own Xbox, but Final Fantasy obviously is a global brand that's been around for decades. Like, I do think it goes beyond a single platform at this point. And you know, with modern consoles now, again, I'm not trying to be a backseat developer. The architecture among them is so similar. I really have to believe that the effort, given how many of the platforms they've ported it to, the effort required to just put it on Xbox I don't know that they would need to. I have to believe they would sell enough to make a return on that, but I could be wrong.
It's possible that Sony is slipping them a little extra to keep it off of Xbox.
I don't think so that was the other thing. It's like someone mentioned that, but like, I'm sorry, but more people are going to buy this on Switch than PlayStation. So if Sony paid anything for a deal here and it still releases on a Switch, they got a shitty deal.
The Pixel remasters are going to sell like 80% on Switch. Like I have zero doubt about that. Zero doubt at all. So, but guys, I got to tell you, I've been doing nothing but playing the Pixel remasters, specifically 3 because I wanted to start with 3. Just all day, and I'm home. I'm home the rest of the week anyway because I'm taking care of my dog who just had her surgery. She's fine. But it has given me all the time in the world to play the Pixel. Like guys, like I literally I was up all night on Tuesday because Dottie was crying. I was sleeping in the living room with her. Then in the morning, I finally my wife woke up and I was like, okay, I'm going to get some fucking sleep at like 7 in the morning. And I set an alarm for like 10:55. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not fucking around. Like I've got to wake up. So I set my alarm for 10:55 and I woke up and I grabbed my Switch and I'm just sitting there staring at it. Like just watching the fucking numbers change on the clock.
Look at those beautiful
squares. Like it was like 10:57, 10:58, and I'm just like staring at it, like a man who hasn't eaten in a week is looking at a fucking turkey, and then it hit like 11, and I hit I was like, okay, let's play it. And it says let's check if this will be played, and it says not available to play it. I was like, no, fuck you. I was like, fuck off. Then I did it again, and it didn't work. And then I did it again, and it didn't work. And then it finally, and I was like ready to cry at this point. I was like, Ibs is just fucking with me at this point. But it finally worked, and I got in. And Vicky walks past me, and I'm sitting on the couch. She's like, is it everything you thought it would be? And I was like, yes, yes, it is. It's so beautiful. She was like, you're so weird. It just walked off. But it's little stuff.
Wait, when you just said that, John, sorry, I just heard Vicky's voice and like Joel's voice from last was like, is that everything you hope for?
Is it everything you hope for? These are my giraffes. The Pixel remasters on Switch are my Last of Us giraffes.
Your giraffes.
Yeah, they're my Last of Us giraffes. That's what they are.
They're just roaming that field out there.
Roaming the home screen on my
simple man. I just need these Pixel remasters on Switch. And honestly, life is good.
Honestly, I'm so happy that like nothing else could release this year and I'd be fine. I'm like, whatever. I got what I needed. I'm fucking cool.
John, for all the shit I've given you and the fun I've poked, I gotta say I'm gonna start with 4 just because I want to get that one out of the way. But I am genuinely excited to play 6 and like to finally play it and get to experience this game. Like I don't know if I'll react. Obviously, I might not react to it the same way.
Look at the shirt.
That nice. Yeah. But yeah, like it's something that's so important to you. I'm really excited to finally be able to like experience it and share that with you. It's pretty cool.
I think more excited for you to play it than you are to play it because
I have no doubt that you are.
Because the thing is like it's not every day that I can talk with someone after they've played 6 for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And there are like, and Jeff, like that's a game that was like from a story perspective, like the themes that it hit, like Darren, Cam, like back in 94, this game was tackling like genocide and megalomania and teen pregnancy and like mass murder and fucking suicide and like these really serious themes that you just didn't see in a Super Nintendo game in 1994, and it's still so resonant today. And this is in my opinion, this is the absolute best way to experience these games. Now I know a lot of people on Cam and Darren, I'd like to get your opinions on this. I know a lot of people have been upset that the Game Boy Advance content has not been included. Apart from the Game Boy Advance extra stuff for 2, which actually does add quite a bit to the story. Of course, 2 is a bad game, and I don't recommend you ever play it.
That was my first of the originals.
Oh man, I'm sorry. 2 is just like there's no defending 2.
The music's good.
But the music is good. That's about all you can say for 2. But I personally don't consider really any of that truly essential. Like it's like
No,
it's an
I
extra
don't either.
dungeon. Like it's not like some extra bosses. Like you can fight Gilgamesh in Final Fantasy 1 and 6. Like cool. Like it's nice. It would be nice to have it, but I don't think. You guys tell me what you think, but I don't think the overall package suffers from them not being there.
No, I don't.
In a way that's meaningful. No, like it sucks, but I'm not like, oh, this is significantly worse. Like,
yeah, because I mean,
considering it was an extra for the advanced version specifically, anyway. Like, if you played it beforehand, if whether it was the SNES version, the anthology version on PS1, like you played the game, and so if you got those extras, you'll notice it because you didn't experience it beforehand, but it doesn't take away anything from what 6 is. So
well, and like it's like you're talking about with it, like an hour of content maybe for each one,
if that,
like if that, like it's. I will say that like I do understand that people are disappointed they're not there, and so there have been a lot of questions about whether or not these are the definitive versions of these games, and I want to toss it to Justin here as well, because I know Justin, you've played some of the older Final Fantasies as well.
I haven't played the Pixel remasters yet.
So well, you can still. I mean, like you've heard us talk about, like you've seen them. Like I'm pretty sure. I feel comfortable in you tossing an opinion out here. Are these the definitive versions of Final Fantasies 1 through 6?
I don't know. Like,
okay.
Well, I'm not as intimately familiar with them either. Like as games either. Like I've played 4, 5, and 6, but like. I'm not like as like intimately familiar with it as like you guys are. Like, and I also only ever played them like emulated versions and stuff too. So like for me, it's just nice that I have a way that I can play them easily, properly, like on a console that I own. Well, like I'm really glad a lot of people are going to have that opportunity. And it seems like it is at least a good way to play them, and I think that's kind of more important to me than like whether it's the absolute perfect version or anything. Like as long as it's just not like a busted version, as long as these are available to people, I think that's great. And I'm excited to get to them eventually. I just can't quite afford it right now with some other games that are coming out that I want to pick up and everything.
Well, I was gonna say like I haven't played them either, but I'm obviously being a big fan of the series. I'm quite familiar with their legacy, and I think like Justin said, he can play them now. To me, that's like what makes them the definitive version is like they're accessible on modern hardware. I think I could be wrong, but like anything that's been kind of ported as many times as these, it's generally very difficult. Same with like film transfers and stuff like that. There's always director's cuts. Sometimes the Blu-ray scan or transfer has like bad DNR. So like it's very hard to find one definitive version of anything that's had multiple iterations over the years. There's usually pros and cons. But I think when you look at the big picture, in terms of them being available on 3 modern hardware platforms, PC, Switch, PlayStation, one of which is completely portable. One could be played on TV, like that. And then you look at all the accessibility enhancements. Like for me, I've always wanted to play the older games, but as someone, especially the last few years, has been just done. Like I'm over old school JRPG bullshit. I love them, but like 10 I couldn't beat 10 because I reached the end of the game and I straight up I didn't use the right skills on the sphere grid. And I literally couldn't do the right damage to beat the boss. My next option was to grind for 20 hours. I was like, I'm not going to do that. But these games, the encounter rate, the guild enhancements, the fact I think you can save anywhere now, which is another.
You've got a quick save. You can save anywhere.
That's a big block for me. Like, if you're on, especially if my PS5 likes to crash when I use rest mode, so I don't use it. But like, fuck, if I have to like make it an hour to a save point, but I got to go to work, like these games just aren't playable for me if I can't save them frequently.
Because I want to point out that is. Like in Final Fantasy 3, which I'm playing right now, like
quick save is so clutch.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Put it in every game. It's 2023. Quick save in every game. I'm sorry.
The Crystal Tower in Final Fantasy 3 is the final dungeon, and it was notorious because there's not a single save point in the entire thing. So if you died at the final boss, you had to do the entire final dungeon over again. And now you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, that was the 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, stupid.
I think I might have told the story before. Let me tell you what happened to me the first time I played Final Fantasy VII. Well, actually the third time. because my first 2 attempts, I had a corrupted memory card, and my sister overwrote my game save, both when I was on the 3rd disc. But the fourth time, the 3rd or 4th time, I finally made it to the final cave where you fight Sephiroth. I believe you get 1 like custom save point to place anywhere.
You do, yeah.
That's right.
Not realizing that you would never get another save point before the final boss.
Me too,
No. Because I like to save every 5 minutes. I got 2 steps into the cave. I was like, I'm gonna put this bitch right here at the top, and saved. I thought I was the only one.
No, I hated it. I hated it every time I died.
So
I forgot about that.
I had to like go back into the world and grind for like basically like 1,000 of every healing item, so that I could make the horrible 5-hour slog all the way to the end.
Like, as much as I love the original Final Fantasy VII, the North Crater is a bad final dungeon. Like, it's not
sucks.
Fun.
It's just not. It's not a good time.
Yeah,
it's not a good time. But
yeah,
I mean, these pixel remasters solve that, which is great.
So I want to ask Cam and Darren what they think. We'll start with Cam. Like, would you consider these the definitive versions of these games simply on the virtue of them being readily available, or do you think it's a bit more complicated than that?
I mean, at base level in general, yes, right? Like, if you have a Switch, you're not like as nerdy like John and I, where we want to play like the original cartridges of SNES JRPGs on the Super NT, right? Like,
Cam, that's why I love you.
That's what those are. Those are for us, right? And so for me, like, I've played 4 and 6, but I never finished either of them. So when I play through, I'm gonna play through like 1 through 3 on Switch because it's the best, And then when I get to 4, I'm gonna play on my Super NT because that was the original way it was made. I have access to it, and I kind of want to see it from that lens. Because then I can just replay it again.
Cam, why do you think I have the CRT TV right here? What do you think I use that for?
Exactly. And I think that's the same thing goes for 6. Like I want to experience that on the Super NT because I'm lucky enough to have one, and just experience that on a big screen than in a handheld. Because those are epic games. Like, they might be retro 2D style, but they're epic, and they for me, like, I definitely like to play AAA higher budget games on a television because it is at that level,
right?
But like when an indie game, like I prefer to play handheld because it's a kind of smaller experience. So yeah, and that's so for me, 4 and 6 is that, and I would definitely say so because correct me if I'm wrong. 5 was only released on Game Boy Advance. That was the one time it came to. It was released in the U.S., right?
So it came out. So there was a port on PlayStation as part of the Final Fantasy Anthology. And then and then it got an updated version.
And it wasn't very good, right?
It wasn't great. Well, none of the PlayStation ports were good. They had huge amounts of slowdown. It was bad. They were really bad ports. And then Final Fantasy V got a much improved Game Boy Advance port with additional there was like a dungeon and extra dungeon and shit. Yeah. But Final Fantasy V is one of those is one of those Final Fantasy games. It's a black sheep. It's fucking great. To this day, there is still no better implementation of a job system in an RPG, in my opinion.
I was going to say 5. When people say their favorite Final Fantasy is 5, I get that.
Yeah.
Because I respect that because maybe outside of the original Final Fantasy, right, for doing what it did for JRPGs and stuff like that, I think 5 is the most from how people have taken from that game more than any other Final Fantasy.
I will fully concede that 5 is more influential to the mechanics of the JRPG than 6 is, for sure.
Yeah, it's just because the Bravely Default games that's more kind of the successor of Final Fantasy 5, and there's so many other things mechanics about that game and the job systems.
I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics takes straight from 5. It's got its own jobs, any game with a job system, really.
There may be better games than Final Fantasy, better Final Fantasies than Final Fantasy V, but what we owe to that game, and how we JRPGs are made today,
immeasurable.
It's up there.
It's immeasurable. Darren, what about you?
I agree as well, as far as if we want to call it definitive, just because of how readily available all of these are, yes, in that regard. Like I said, if you want to get in the nitty gritty of things, like, sure, there's several different ways to play 4. Like, we have the DS port that has those 3D sprites and everything like that. If you want to go that route, you can go for the PS1 collections, which personally, that's how I first experienced 6. I played it through the anthology. So, but at the time, I didn't know that that was the bad version. So for me, I'm like, this game's fucking amazing. So I've played through it a bit on Game Boy Advance at certain points, but never like completely through again. So I know this is going to be my way of just going back in and going through my favorite Final Fantasy game. So overall, I think the big deal about this Pixel remaster is the fact that here are all 6 of the classics together.
Yep.
Because any other time they've been released, it's been piecemeal throughout different consoles. It's like, here's some on Game Boy Advance.
I was afraid they were going to do that for the console versions too. Like, okay, here's 1, and then 3 months later, here's 2, and then 3 months later, here's 3. And I was afraid that they were going to do that here as well.
I mean, also buying like 1, 2, or 3 on their own is also just not nearly as compelling.
Yeah,
as,
it's
like,
just not.
At
like,
least, like,
here's Final Fantasy 2 on its own. It's like,
together.
no, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I'll say, Jeff, real quick, the last thing I'll say about the Pixel remasters is that ultimately, I was thinking about this today. For years, I said that these should have launched day and date with Steam and mobile.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. I think if they had, we'd be stuck with that awful font on the consoles as well, and none of the quality of life updates. And so, in a way, I'm actually thankful that they launched when they did. Go ahead, John.
Darren, I got a question just because you called out the DS port of 4. 4 is the only one of the original 6 that I have any real time with, and I grabbed the Steam version last year, and I was playing a bit of that. I really liked the voice acting and the 3D cutscenes and stuff. Like, I'm curious. I know people really like. I don't know if you've played it in its entirety, but like I just want to finally commit to playing through 4 the first time, and I'm torn. Like, I love the idea. I've heard the PC one and the DS one's like I think the Steam version's a little bit easier than the original DS, but like as someone who is a bit averse to challenge, I just want to breeze through and enjoy the story. But at the same time, I love the voice. I'm curious, like, what would you recommend to someone who's never experienced 4 before? Would you go with the Pixel remaster or Steam?
I would say the Pixel remaster still.
Yeah.
Because like I enjoy it because I still haven't gone completely through 4. I think my roadblock was when you first have to go against your Dark Knight self when you first kind of become a paladin, and I'm just like, why is this way harder than everything else I've experienced so far? But overall, just to go into it with what it actually is, I'd still say the Pixel remaster is just that's the closest way. Like John's mentioned, beautiful on Switch. We haven't really highlighted, but the music, the redone music is phenomenal. Like playing through 3 right now and hearing the score, and especially because I've been so hyper focused on 14 that everything Shadowbringers is burned into my brain. So playing through 3 now, and I'm like, oh yeah, all that music is from 3, and hearing how it's redone, I'm just like, oh, this is okay. All right, I should have played this many years ago.
That was the cool thing about playing Theater Rhythm a little while ago, is like, because again, I haven't played the old games, but like I'm a big 14 fan, and it's like, oh, like this is from 3, this is from 6. The legacy of the games is just really cool. The orchestral score, sorry, last question, is like, or I guess the updated score, how does it, is it still like a MIDI file? I'm just curious. I have no idea what an updated score for a pixel art based game sounds like.
It's orchestrated
and completely redone.
Holy shit. All right, easy choice. I'm playing the Pixel remaster.
All of they're flawless.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking flawless. Like you should have seen, so Derek was streaming Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster when it came out on Steam. And you should have seen his reaction when the fucking boss theme kicked in with that violin. He was like, he just like had to pause it and listen for a minute. Like, Jeff, I'm not kidding you when I tell you that it is some of Uematsu's finest work out of his entire career. Like everything sounds, it captures the spirit. Like seriously, they're like, if you just go listen to some of the tracks on YouTube or like iTunes or whatever, like, dude, it is. I mean, wow, it's
the
fucking
overworld
incredible.
music of 3. The first time you step out and I like heard it, I
Yeah.
just stood there for several minutes just listening to the song. I'm just like,
it is.
holy
I mean,
shit,
fucking
they went in.
Dancing Mad, like is.
Oh Lord!
Like, dude,
I haven't
sent
even
me to
thought
the
of
fucking
what...
astral plane when I heard that, dude. Like, it's fucking, it's ridiculous. It honestly, it is the best Final Fantasy music that I've ever heard. The remixed orchestral versions of all those old tracks. Cam, you'd probably agree with that, yeah?
I haven't listened to them. I want to like, I want to just go in, you know, kind of. I don't really like experiencing video game music until after I've experienced it in the game itself, if that makes sense.
No,
so
that makes total
that's
sense.
why I like don't like I definitely like have heard like listen to these songs, right? Like Dancing Mad, of course. But I just like kind of want to experience it in the moment, what this new kind of version of that would be. So that's kind of
There's something special the first time that fight hits in like a specific version, and like you hear like that updated one. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like there's certain, you know, there's just certain tracks and games. Like I've talked to John all the time and Darren about Legend of Heroes. There's certain songs.
I was just about to say, have you heard this song?
if I heard that song like before and remembered it when I like just if I heard it, listen to it in general, right? Not with the game, and basically I experience it in the game and then realize that I've heard this before, it'll just take out of the moment. It'll just like it'll make that moment lesser, if that makes sense, than it could be.
If you have
Sorry, I'm rambling.
If no, dude. If you haven't heard the new version of the opera from Final Fantasy VI,
I haven't.
You are in.
That needs.
You are in for a treat.
Full blackout for 6. Anything picturesque.
And here's the thing, because I don't remember much about. Like, I obviously know things about 6, but I don't remember like much about the inner goings of the story and things like that. So when John says like, oh, it touches about this, and then there's an opera, it's like, what game is this? What kind of JRPG
Final
is
Fantasy
this?
No,
yeah, like
and you know the Magitex and everything.
I mean, the opera.
Oh my God, the World of Ruin music.
The World of Ruin, like, dude, Kefka's Tower. Like, I mean, dude, searching for friends when you're soaring around and when you're soaring around in the Falcon. But I'm a nerd. I know all the fucking Final Fantasy tracks by name.
Oh, hey, bro.
But yeah, no, like you know, the opera scene is one of the most iconic moments in any Final Fantasy game, and that's the one that I really wanted to see and hear. Like, you know, what are they going to do with this? And I'm not going to say anything, but you're in for a treat. I'm
excited. Like, you know that while I'm playing through it, I'm gonna be messaging you.
Yes,
to be like,
please.
This happens.
Yes, please do. Please do. All right, I could talk about the Pixel remasters literally for another hour, but we did want to tackle a few other topics before we sign off here. Jeff, did you want to kick off Atari? Or no, did you want to do Street Fighter first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have. I'm mostly curious to hear probably what our guests have to say. I know there was a Street. I didn't even get to catch it because I just caught.
There's a demo that dropped today, right?
Yeah, so there was a Street Fighter 6 showcase today, and then a demo dropped as well. And I mean, the only thing I'll say is, like, again, I'm not a fighting game guy, but like, if there's a fighting game I'm gonna buy, it's gonna be a new Street Fighter. And I think 5, from what I understand, kind of obviously Capcom was at their lowest basically when that game came out. I think it's good. It's pretty impressive that it turned out as well as it did given the circumstances around its release. But I think like 4 is, I was in college when 4 came out, and I just remember that game fucking like taking over the world. Like people who didn't even play video games in my classes were like getting together to play it in labs at lunch and stuff like that. Like Street Fighter 4 was just huge. Yep. And 6 definitely feels like Street Fighter is back, and like I know Street Fighter's never been grounded, but I'm watching this showcase and I'm watching like a custom created fighter fighting people with boxes on their heads.
The sole reason
and like fighting refrigerators. Like
The sole reason why Street Fighter 6 is going to be way bigger than 5 is because of everything you just said. It is a fucking video game. It is goofy. It's dumb.
Yeah.
All
It's
I want to
got
know
weird
is
stuff. The mechanics are fun and new. Let's go.
Can I create Raul Julia's M Bison? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Can I do it?
Possibly.
The
But
way
no,
that this character creator is, maybe.
I've played Street Fighter 6 2 or 3 times now, just going to events, and I got into like Street Fighter like relatively seriously with Street Fighter 4 as well, and this is like 6 is kind of like it's basically the best parts of 4 and 5 together. It really
Agreed.
is like it feels like you're playing Street Fighter 4, but there's a little bit of weightiness to like the characters that Street Fighter 5 had, but like it doesn't have like V skill, or it doesn't have the trigger system. It's just like kind of more traditional Street Fighter style, like in the mechanics. So I'm, while still having some like new things and making some new changes,
It's like they tweak what the V skills were to implement them into the character's actual combat now, as well as the new mechanics as far as the different bars that you can utilize. Like they kind of brought back parries back from Third Strike that everybody has been missing since then.
yeah.
Everybody has one of those. There's more of a, I'll say, kind of like how Tekken's doing with like an aggression system where like you can dash in after combos and everything like that, and utilize the different meters in different ways to keep the fight going. Because like with 5, the big thing that made 5 so boring per se is that it was very footsie based, where it's like you had to tap somebody's toe to really do anything. And so now they're like, okay, let's make this a fighting game again and make sure that everybody has different ways to approach. And the new characters are all looking good with their new with their own traits.
Well
They announced new
designed.
DLC from the showcase today. I honestly don't know how to feel about this demo. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like it's just all single player stuff, which makes me slightly sad.
Did they
Yeah,
actually
I think it's a bit of the world tour mode, and you can actually carry over your progress or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's your character, but not your progress.
Oh, okay.
But
That
at
that
least
makes more. That actually makes more sense.
So
that
the
you
world
Yeah,
tour-
our
character you
good
want.
friend of the show, Bronson Lee, he kind of recapped it. Yeah, the full character creator is there. Your avatar can transfer over to the full game.
Okay.
The World Tour demo, no progress is saved. It resets actually every time you quit the mode. And then there's offline versus with only Luke and Ryu.
Okay.
And make sure you change to the performance mode because it's not on by default.
Oh wow, that demo is smaller. Well, like the character roster smaller than the ones that I've played. I think mine had up to 4 or 6 characters to choose from.
Yeah.
Both times I played.
So the world tour mode, that's that like open world single player
Yes.
deal
Yes.
where like when we say open world, like what are we talking about here?
So
Like,
it's more of like, it seems like it's more of a central hub area where you can move around. You can move around the city and everything like
Yeah.
that.
It
So
seems like
that's
Street
custom
Fighter
character.
Yakuza, basically.
I was gonna say it
Yeah,
looked like I was
yeah.
watching Yakuza.
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah.
But you can get you can have some of the mainstay characters be some of your mentors, and so I'm assuming that's how your character can start learning different moves. Considering alongside just customizing the character, you know, you can have your character do a Hadouken, a spinning bird kick, some of Blanca's moves. Like you can mix and match.
can you
moves from
take your
different
character
characters.
online?
As of right now, no. From what they've said,
That
it
doesn't
seems
surprise
like
me, to be honest with you.
yeah, online.
I think it would just be kind of a balanced nightmare
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you can give them, different moves from
Right.
different characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I was actually hoping the answer would be no.
Or
I gotta.
like, it would have to be its own mode, right? Like it couldn't be like the main
right.
like
Can't be an
ranked
E-fighter
stuff.
from Smash.
Yeah.
I gotta say I really love character creators, and they showed a little bit of it. I could see some very cursed creations coming out of this.
The betas were insane.
Yeah. No, I
People
saw
did
some
not
of the
care what
characters that
they
were being
made,
created,
and they
it's-
were abominations.
There's
Oh my god.
There was some real eldritch horror shit happening there.
Honestly.
Like if you pull up some of the
I'm here for it.
Jeff, if you go to the Jeff, if you Google just like
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 beta creations, like some
I
of
have
the s-
not seen any of this.
Oh, Jeff, Jeff, you're fucking
literally
missing
seen
out.
a light bulb, man.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Oh
dude,
my
Just
god.
very
Oh,
top
yeah.
heavy, just literally bright, and all you see is tiny arms from the top half. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, no. I'm looking right now, and boy, oh boy, like
Wait,
there
where
some
are
real-
these? I haven't seen these either.
Here, actually, like, I mean, look at this, dude. Like, here, I'm just gonna drop it here in the Twitch chat. I just literally searched for Street Fighter 6 beta creations. Look at this shit.
There's one from Maximilian dude here as well.
Oh hell yeah!
I think I've seen that one.
Love
Oh
my
yeah.
boy Max.
Yeah, it's
Oh yep. See, there's one of the light bulb people. Yep. Why?
a light bulb people.
Here you go. Look at that shit, Justin. Just click that link.
9 seconds in fucking.
Just click that link, Justin.
Oh, man.
Some of this shit is
Incredible.
So...
Yeah.
Incredible.
Like it's,
I want someone someday needs to mod this, like combine this character creator with the From Software, like Dark Souls character creators. We can go further. We have the technology. We can make it worse.
I gotta tell you,
we can make it worse.
This guy right here is my absolute favorite.
Yep.
He is. I don't know what I like. He just resonates with me. Like it looks like.
He looks like when Ant-Man goes big, but he forgot to make his head go big.
It looks like somebody shrunk Wreck-It Ralph's head. Like it looks like there is. Honestly, I will play Street Fighter 6 just to create a character. Like the most cursed fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
Well, the good thing is the full creator's in the demo apparently, John. So go to town.
I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna fuck it straight up. Like Justin, click that image and or click that link, that first link I sent you. Look at the first guy. Just look at the first
John,
one.
I've been looking.
This is
It's great.
This is fantastic. Like
this is great. I do like how there's like one or two like genuinely great characters that like somebody clearly spent like a ton of time and effort to like make a really good looking character that looks like somebody actually designed it right next to just.
I'm telling
like,
you, they're like,
Stretch
oh, the beta's up for 3 days.
Armstrong.
I'm not spending time wasting. I'm gonna make this nightmare creature
Oh,
and fight
yeah, no,
somebody.
this is
hit random a couple times, good to go.
This is fucking the whole thing is just outstanding. So I actually do hope that there's an online mode strictly for created characters, because can you imagine how fun that would be? Like, I mean,
I hope so too.
I really do, man. Like,
I hope so.
That would be so much fucking fun. I'm probably gonna try. I'll try the demo. I haven't played a Street Fighter game since Third Strike.
Oh, you missed 4?
I missed 4. I did.
Oh, dude, 4
Third
was
Strike's still the best, but it's okay.
I missed 4. But I tried. Actually, I take that back. I tried 5 and didn't mesh with me at all. And I was like, yeah, no. But I.
Oh yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, also like Street Fighter 5, like one of the rare games that was weakened by being a console exclusive. Like, did y'all feel that vibe too?
I thought so.
Even with like the, being a PS4 exclusive that has like an actual, like, Sony was helping them make that game.
Yeah,
And
they
then
funded
just,
part
like,
of it, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was like
it's such a weird case because like that game might not have gotten made at all if it wasn't exclusive, but also it definitely didn't take off the way it could have because it was exclusive.
6
and
is
it
not
was
exclusive.
so
right?
bare bones.
6 is not
No,
exclusive.
6 is not exclusive.
6 is not.
No, yeah, 6
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah, and for like, as far as 5 goes, like 5 was very esports centric, and prior with Street Fighter 4, Xbox was the place everybody played Street Fighter.
Yeah. Yep.
So swapping consoles over, everybody was already confused and like, wait, but it ran good here. Why are we switching things?
Didn't they end up like fixing Street Fighter 5 in the long run? Like
5,
it got better, but
it's still very bare
Too little,
bones.
too
Like
late.
if you want to play it as like a single player game, there are modes and stuff, but they're still very simple and stuff. But like in terms of like pure gameplay and the roster and stuff, like it improved to a point where a lot of people are happy with it as like a pure competitive game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like the cool thing to me about 6, because I mentioned as someone who like isn't big into fighting games, so the pattern I have is every few years I'm like, okay, this is the last time I think was Dragon Ball FighterZ. I was like, I'm gonna buy this game, I'm gonna do the tutorials, I'm gonna learn every move for a character, I'm gonna figure out how to block and how to cancel, and then I get into like one match and I get overwhelmed and I give up. But like this game seems cool. Like I don't even have to actually do the fights. I'm just gonna make my character and run around this stupid open world and jump on vans.
Wacky bullshit.
Yeah,
and Capcom's missing. We needed wacky bullshit in our fighting games. Let's fucking go.
I mean,
it's a video game at the end of the day. Let's make it so everybody wants to play. Because A, good fighting game. B, look at this abomination I created that's running around the city. Let's go.
I think 6. I love the style of 6. Like the visual style of 6 is
the
awesome.
art is so good.
It is really good.
It has so much personality in a way that like I think has really been missing. On top of the fact that it just looks cool, and I think that's also just gonna get a lot more people that are more casual as like fighting game players. Like, oh, this game looks interesting. Like Street Fighter V did not look great, and like it really looked like you appreciate it as a Street Fighter fan, but like
no.
There's something. Well, okay, that's fair. Maybe not.
It's okay.
Because even fans of 4 didn't like the way 5.
I think they were onto something with 5. Like this feels like the realization of what they actually wanted 5 to look like.
6 looks so slick, like, and it looks, and it's fun to watch. And like, I'm not somebody that is super into fighting games, and like every time I've tried, I kind of have turned off because I don't know what to look for when watching some of these matches sometimes. But 6 is fun for me to watch from what I've seen, and like I think that's going to be huge for the game. And yeah, like Delaby mentioned in chat, is like the walkout with intros and taunts and stuff like that. Like that stuff's great, and like it just gives it a lot more of a distinct personality that makes it exciting to like even just to watch on top of playing. So I really think 6 is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, after finding out that the director of Street Fighter 6 was the director of Bayonetta 2, I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
I didn't know that. That's news to me. That's cool.
Well, I think the world tour. I think they're working on the world tour mode. I think the head of like 6 is the person that's been running like the live service stuff for 5 for a while.
I was just talking about the style, like the art style.
Oh yeah.
I was just picturing like a custom character doing like Bayonetta style moves and combos and stuff like that.
Give it another DLC season, it could happen.
Yeah.
Nothing's
off the table.
What kind of DLC were they talking about at the presentation?
So
I didn't get to watch
they announced
more characters.
The first year DLC characters. So we're getting Akuma's coming next spring. Ed's returning from 5. A new character, Aki. And one other character.
Rashid from
5 is coming back. He's the first one coming out.
Yeah, he's coming this summer, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Summer, autumn, winter, spring.
This comes out in June, right?
Yep.
Yes.
What a fucking month that's gonna be.
Fuck. Love it.
Holy shit. When is this coming out in June?
June 2nd.
So basically like almost 3 weeks before Final Fantasy 16.
And like and after like the next few weeks of releases, which are also pretty nuts.
I just fucking realized that Advance Wars comes out at midnight tonight.
That's today.
Yeah, comes out at midnight tonight. Like holy fuck, man! Like so far this year for games has been fucking nuts, and we're not even
nuts. And like
for games and movies, this year is like finally like the pandemic backlog kind of cleared, and it's like, oh, shit's coming out again.
Right.
You mentioned movies too. Like I'm somebody that always has gone to the movies a lot, and like the sheer variety of movies I've been able to see the past few months, and the quality, like in general, has been the most fun I've had in the movies in a long time. Like, it's
so many
just been a
movies out right
blast.
now I want to see. Like, I still haven't seen the Mario movie.
Okay, so
I just haven't had time to do it.
So here's the thing. We've got Atari and the Mario movie. Can we save Atari for next week? Because I'd love to. We got less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I don't really know what the Atari thing even is.
Well, it's actually it's actually very, very interesting, but I think it needs a longer conversation than.
I think it needs Derek. I'm not. I don't feel confident in being able to talk about it.
I think Derek should be here for that one as well. I do want to talk about the Mario movie because I saw it. I actually saw it with Geo and Cartridge Games and Strange.
Okay, cool.
This past weekend, and it's a Mario movie. It's a
kids movie. I heard it's made for kids.
It is. It's not gonna change the fucking world. It's not the greatest video game adaptation ever made. Not even close. It's not the worst. Not even close. It's like, squarely in the middle. I will say that Chris Pratt was not as insufferable as I thought he was going to be. I actually wouldn't have even been able to tell you that was Chris Pratt if I didn't know it. Charlie Day had a lot of fun playing Luigi. The standout was Jack Black. Jack Black was having a fucking blast playing. But you could tell that he was having the fucking time of his life. Got to talk about the voice for Cranky Kong. Because as soon as Cranky Kong opened his mouth...
That Fred Armisen?
Yeah. Gio and I looked at each other and we were like, no. Like it is... He basically sounds like... He sounds like Jerry Stiller, almost. It doesn't even sound like Fred. It doesn't even sound like Fred
Frank
Armisen.
Costanza?
Yeah. He just sounds like an old Brooklyn man. And like, it's, he's like, yeah, and I'm just like me, like all four of us were like, yeah, that is not how we pictured Cranky Kong sounding.
What should Cranky Kong sound like? I'm curious.
Like an old fucking, like an old man, like, like sitting on his porch, like, get the fuck off. Like, he's like, I feel like Cranky Kong should sound, he's like, this sounded like a 40-year-old man. Right?
How old is Cranky Kong canonically?
I mean, he's got a long white beard, so I'm guessing in his fucking 70s.
Here's the thing, though. Miyamoto approved it, so it's what he thought. It's what he thought he sounded like.
It's true to the vision.
But I've got this thing with Cranky Kong in my head that he's always sounded one way. It's like when Square Enix was like, no, it's not Mako, it's Mako, and I'm like, no, fuck you, it's Mako. It's no, I've been saying Mako for 20 years. It's not.
Stop
Mako.
trying to make Mako happen.
It's Mako. And I've got this thing in my head where like Cranky Kong sounds like an old crotchety man, and this is just not like, you'll understand when you like when you hear it. I guarantee you'll be like, oh, that's not what I was imagining at all. It's hard to explain.
I think this is the longest I've ever heard anybody talk about Cranky Kong.
I mean, like, look,
Rar, if Rar's listening to this, he is fucking eating.
Rar, no, this was tailor made for Rar. Seth Rogen played Seth Rogen. It was Seth Rogen. He did fine, but he didn't like try to be anything but Seth Rogen. There were some the soundtrack is fucking odd because there's some really good remixes of like some classic Mario tunes, but at the same time, like, there's a racing segment where they played just like Take On Me, and I'm like, we were all like, fucking why? Like there's like why? Like why is this here?
30 years of Mario.
There was actually a thing on IGN today where like apparently so at the very end when they fight Bowser, they get invincible, they play like a stylized version of like, the Mario Superstar music, right? But they had to beg to use that instead of Van Halen's Jump. And it's like there are some pop songs added here that don't match the tone of what's going on at all. And it's completely jarring. It just totally rips you out of the experience. It's not like this is a super immersive movie anyway, but and the other thing is like the movie just fucking ends. And when I say it ends, I mean it just ends. They win and Bowser's defeated and Mario and Luigi wake up and they're living in the Mushroom Kingdom and they're like, oh, they don't even say anything. They're just like, let's jump down the fucking pipe, and that's the end of the movie. And Gio, we're all like silent for like 5 seconds, then Gio's just like, I guess that's it. And
I mean, isn't that how Mario games end?
But kinda? I mean, but the thing is like they literally go from defeating Bowser and that's the end of the movie. Like there's no
Yeah.
There's
wrap up
no
the story.
transition
There's
to the
nothing.
ending.
There's no like end of A New Hope, like
No.
the big like medal ceremony.
Yeah, they're not handing out, like it's just there is a cool training montage where like Mario's learning how to platform, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean it's just, and Bowser is like unhealthily obsessed with Peach in a way that I'm not okay with almost. Like it's
Did you like the
weird.
Peaches song?
It was whatever. It was just Jack.
Really?
It was just Jack
still
Black.
haven't
It was
listened
just.
to it.
It sounded like a Tenacious D song about Peach. Like I mean, that's what it sounded like.
That sounds amazing.
I mean,
What are you
but the
talking
thing
about?
is, it's just Jack Black singing Peach over and over.
Yeah, Jack Black's
like,
a good singer.
He is a good singer. He is a good singer. I was hoping. I was honestly hoping that Kyle Gass would pop up as a character in the movie, but he did not, sadly.
I don't know how, but I believe there's a way. We need a crossover movie where we can have Jack Black's Bowser and Jim Carrey's Eggman in the same
Need that.
same
so
film.
that actually,
I need.
So Jeff, that you just like that kind of brings me to the last point about this, and that like this movie is already the highest grossing animated film of all time.
Not entirely true, but it's setting records.
I mean, it's like I had read that somewhere, but if it's not, it's going to be.
It set some opening records. I think Frozen 2 has the record of like 1.7 billion.
It's gonna be the highest. Like it's gonna have the highest box office of the entire year.
Yeah,
of the entire year.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, we are going to get more Nintendo property movies. It's going to happen.
Donkey Kong.
We're getting Donkey Kong. I guarantee you, we're gonna get Zelda. Honestly, my favorite part of the Mario movie was Luigi's ringtone is the GameCube intro.
That's
a nice touch.
Yeah,
cool.
which is which feels like something that's tailor made for someone like me. Like because it's like
I would have never picked up on that.
That's amazing. That's dope.
But I would love like a Metroid movie. But like
Metroid.
See, the thing is, like, people keep saying they want like Zelda and Metroid and stuff, but I hope to God it's not Illumination Studios that's in charge of those
I want a
movies.
horror Metroid film.
Yeah,
I want a Metroid horror film.
Yep, and I want you could have them all culminate in an Avengers Endgame style Smash Brothers movie.
Yep, that's what everybody wants.
I don't really care about that.
I mean, I don't give a shit about that
wonder-
either. Oh, hey, Brit's in chat. But yeah, like it is very clear that we are going to get. I thought he said horror Metroid film at first. I mean, if you look at
Metroid,
if you look at Pornhub, I'm sure there's some horror Metroid stuff out there. But yeah, like it is very clear that we're going to get more Nintendo properties. Like a Donkey Kong movie's already been confirmed, right, Cam? Am I wrong about that? Yeah, like it's that's something that's happening. People are already talking about what they would want to see in a Zelda movie. I want a fucking Kirby movie. I don't give a shit. Like, give me a Kirby
let's
movie
go.
with some dark eldritch horror.
Eldritch horror at
like,
the end,
because that's
let's
always
fucking go.
Kirby's fucking deal.
Because they stole his goddamn apple. Yeah,
or like,
absolutely.
what about like an Animal Crossing movie? Or like or
I think
I'm
that's
trying to imagine what an Animal
Luigi's
Crossing movie would
Mansion.
even be.
I don't know.
I think
man.
Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion would be great.
would be fucking great.
Directed by Ari
I
Aster.
think Splatoon
Yeah, Aster.
would be one that they go for, like, especially because
I could see that.
Splatoon is huge in Japan,
I
like
could see that.
absolutely massive in Japan.
I will never no disrespect. I will never understand the Splatoon craze, but
It's so
They're
good.
great. They're fun games. I love Splatoon.
I know.
Splatoon's
I
so
just
good, and I don't understand why. I couldn't tell you why.
It's
Yeah.
just good. It's
The
just
first
very,
time I
very
played it,
good.
I just played for hours with a stupid look on my face. I'm
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
oh my god, I'm just having fun, and I wasn't
Yeah.
ready to have fun like this.
It's just very, very good. Yeah, like there's a ton of potential here, and I think the next Mario movie is going to be something that has to do with Mario Galaxy. Simply because there's like some pretty big hints that are dropped in this movie. But I was telling Gio, and Gio was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "If you really want to fucking impress me," and there's not a ghost of a chance of this happening, but use as the template for the next Mario movie, Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars, and bring in characters like Smithy and the Axum Rangers. Dude, I was telling, dude, I told Gio, our friend Gio, I was like, dude, bring in Smithy and have Nick Offerman voice him. and you're fucking set. You know, but I mean, we all know that's never going to fucking happen. But it sure would be awesome if it fucking did, Nintendo. Shoot. There's another game I can't believe we haven't seen a re-release of, is Super Mario RPG. I wouldn't mind seeing a Paper Mario movie, actually. Paper Mario has some of the best fucking humor in any game ever. It's such a pleasure. It's such a clever franchise. And I would love to see. Brit says
Brit's full on shit posting.
Brit's just shit posting. Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters.
Brian
Cranston is Terra. So hey, Cam, you were you ever? You were gone, but before we wrap up here, I wanted to say I was just saying you know, it'll never happen. But I would love for the next Mario movie to use characters from Super Mario RPG like Geno and Mallow and Smithy. That'll never happen.
That'd be really cool.
But it would be
that would
really
never
fun.
happen. But that'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
When are we gonna get a port of that?
I do. That's the same shit I said.
Literally just said.
I literally just said that. I'm like, I don't. Who fucking knows? Michael Cera is Kefka, Jeff.
Question: in the Kirby movie, does Kirby have the feet? Like, do we see the feet?
The feet?
Why
Calm
do you
down.
want to see
It's way too early to start speculating about who's going to show feet in what movies.
I mean,
Jeff.
it's
not Kirby feet, especially not the Kirby feet.
I mean, usually you pay extra for that kind of action, Jeff. All right,
not the only toes.
Shut the fuck up. All right. Cam, everybody watching should know where to find you, but just in case they don't, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CamFinalMix. Most of my writing currently, when it pops up, is on IGN.com. You can check that out. And yeah,
I think Cam at this point is our most recurring guest. Cam, you've got one of those just like walk-on policies where you don't have to ask. You're just like, hey, let me be on tonight. It's like, okay, there's always room. And I have a feeling that Darren is going to become a recurring guest as well, because it's been an absolute fucking treat having you on, man. You were engaging.
Thank you for having me on.
You're just a cool dude, and you're awesome to hang out with. Where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere at XX That's me personally anywhere, or you can follow anything that my podcast does at Rusty Rupees or Rusty Rupees on 2Ys on Twitter, because Twitter's some hoes. And twitch.tv/Rusty Rupees, where shortly after this I will be trying to finish up my Resident Evil 4 stream. So yay.
Awesome. When are you having me on?
Give me like a week or two.
Okay,
I got you.
That's fine. Perfect.
We'll make that happen. Don't worry.
Jeff, Justin, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good. Check out Dredge if you want.
Yeah, get that Eldritch Horror fishing sim in. All right, guys. Well, I am off to start my Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster playthrough tonight. Tomorrow morning, I am going to be I think I'm going to do it at 10 a.m. 9 or 10. I want to get an early start, but I am going to stream the end of my Final Fantasy III Pixel Remaster playthrough. That's the Crystal Tower, Eureka, and the World of Darkness. So I'm planning on that. That'll probably be a couple hours. And if you've never seen the end of that game, it's got a really cool kind of back end there. So join me right here, twitch.tv/official SDGC for that. Sometime between 9 and 10 tomorrow. I'll tweet it out in the morning. And remember, guys, as always, kindness costs nothing. Take care of each other, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.